This is the Vauxhall Vivaro, one of the best-selling medium vans in the UK right now. And this, well, this is the all-electric version, the Vauxhall Vivaro-E. So E by gum, let's give this a Vanarama road test. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified whenever we post new content just like this. And if you are in the market for a brand new van, car or pickup truck, head to vanarama.com and check out the leasing deals. Now, let's give the Vauxhall Vivaro-E its very own Vanarama road test. Okay, so let's hit you with the all-important facts about the Vauxhall Vivaro-E. Two battery sizes, 50 kilowatt or 75 kilowatt. With the 50 kilowatt battery, you are going to get a range of 143 miles. With the 75 kilowatt, you're looking at 205 miles. Now, with the slightly smaller and therefore lighter battery pack, the 50 kilowatt, you're going to get a payload of 1,226 kilograms. And if you go for the bigger and heavier battery pack, you're going to get a payload of 1,002 kilograms. Now, the gross vehicle weight of both models with the different battery sizes is 3,100 kilograms up to, okay? So basically what that means is that the heavier battery pack takes up a little bit more of that weight and means that you can carry less payload. And conversely, the lighter battery pack, because it of course is smaller and weighs less, means that you have a little bit more weight to play with. But let's just take those figures. If you go for the smaller battery pack, you get a really good payload. You have to compromise on the mileage, but then if you go for the bigger battery pack, you only lose around 200 kilograms of your payload, and it's still over 1,000 kilograms, which means that the Vauxhall Vivaro-E, the Citroën E-Dispatch and the Peugeot E-Expert or Expert E, whichever way round it is, they're very compelling propositions in the medium van sector for electric vans. Now, both models are fully capable of towing 1,000 kilograms behind them, which is great. That's really good. But then, to be fair, what do you expect? It's a reliable, excellent platform van that's capable of pulling loads. Awesome. If you charge both vans overnight, then you're never really going to worry about charging times, because you just get home at the end of the day, you plug it in, and then the next morning it's got more than enough range for you to do anything you need to the next day. But if you want to do it fast charge, and you go to one of the fast chargers as part of the UK's charging infrastructure, 30 minutes is how long it'll take you to charge up to 80% with a smaller battery pack, and 45 minutes is how long it'll take you to charge up to 80% with the larger battery pack. That's excellent. It's exactly what you'd expect as well. So that's what the Vivaro-E offers. When it comes to electric vans, you've got things like the VW Abt E-Transporter, and you've got the Mercedes-Benz Vito offering something like 90 miles of range with not particularly convincing payloads. But then the Vauxhall Vivaro-E, the E-Dispatch and the Expert E or E-Expert, whichever way those two go round, they're the ones that are offering 200 miles of range and 1,200 kilograms of payload if you go for the smaller battery packs. It's really compelling. It really does make the difference. Range anxiety is a real thing, and whether or not you agree with me when I say that actually most van drivers over-egg how much they drive in a given day, the fact that it's got 200 miles of range, and if you're a local operator, you're only going to need to charge this vehicle up every couple of days, maybe 3 at a push. And if you can do it overnight or you can do it at a fast charger, when is this van ever going to become an inconvenience? That's the most important question to ask yourself when you are looking at a van. Is it going to become an inconvenience? If it's got a small payload and a small range, then it is. But the Vauxhall Vivaro-E doesn't have either of those. It's got a good payload and it's got a good range. What more could you want? Now, Vauxhall are quite confident about the reliability of their batteries. 8-year warranties they've got. They've slapped an 8-year warranty on it. So if you lease one of these vehicles for 2 to 5 years, you're always going to be covered. That's good, right? 2 to 5 years of lease and you're covered for the battery for the whole time. You've got your standard manufacturer's warranty as well. So peace of mind and reliability in turn, the confidence of the manufacturer is passed on to you in the shape of those longer warranties. Fantastic. And finally, there are 2 other points that Vauxhall really want you to know. Because there are no moving parts and no combustion engine and the usual things that wear and tear on vehicles like this, your maintenance costs could be anything up to 30% less over the lifetime ownership of this vehicle. That's great. And that's the point about an electric conversion. You don't want it to be any less flexible in the back, and have to make all those compromises. And thankfully at the higher trim levels, you've got electric side sliding doors. And not just this one here, you've got 2 electric side sliding doors. Now that is an option that I would absolutely pick. It is phenomenal. As you can see, it's already nicely ply lined, and those 2 things there, they're not just duffel bags stuffed full of cash, they're actually the electric charging cables. You've got your fast charge and you've got your 3-pin trickle charge as well, which means that if you do plug it in overnight at home, it'll be charged in the morning. Let's go around the back and I can show you the rest of the loading bay. The back end of the Vivaro-E looks exactly like the back end of the standard Vivaro. You've got your 50-50 split doors. They open up to 90 degrees, as you'd expect. Disengage the door locks, and they open up to a full 180 degrees. And there you go, very accessible. All the dimensions, the 2 payloads that you get with each size of the battery. Can't wait to get shut. The 2 payloads for each size of the battery you will see whizzing around me right now. I mean, the one thing you've got to take away is that this is just a very flexible loading bay, even when it's fully electric. Now, another place that this really hasn't had to compromise, apart from a few minor changes, is the cabin. So let's go there now. Now, the cabin of the Vivaro-E is really not that much different than the actual standard Vivaro. So if you want to have a more detailed look through that, please feel free to go and check out our actual previous review of the Vivaro. The link will appear just up here. But what I will tell you is some of the things that have changed, obviously, in the transition to electric. First things first, and probably the most easy thing to spot, is that this is, well, right in front of you, the dashboard. There's a charge meter. There's a kind of one of those little charge, eco and power indicators that shows you how efficiently you are driving the vehicle. And there's also, like I say, there's the range counters as well to show you how many miles, which, to be fair, is so much more important in an electric vehicle than it is when you're in a diesel vehicle. I always feel in a diesel, if you get down to around 0 or 5, you've really got about 10 miles. But on an electric vehicle, if it gets down to 5 miles, make sure you stop and go charge, because yeah, that's pretty vital. It's pretty vital. Okay, so dashboard is very different. Another place that's completely different is right down here. Normally you'd have a gear stick, but right here you've got a drive selector switch, which is where you can decide where you're going to park, reverse, drive, or whether you're going to turn on your regenerative braking. You've also got your drive mode selector here, where you can choose between sport, eco or comfort mode, which doesn't really make a massive difference, although eco mode just pulls everything back a bit, so you can basically maximize your mileage, which is really important when you're driving an electric vehicle. One thing just to notice, that when you do want to actually park the vehicle, you have to press a button at the top here, this little P here, you have to press that, and then you have to engage the electric handbrake. Anywhere else that is massively different, well, you're not really going to find it here. You've got the same storage, the same cup holders, the same glove box, the same excellent deep storage bins in the doors, and you've even got the same under-seat storage as well, which looks a little bit more generous on the outside than it does actually look on the inside. And that's it, there's not much else to say. Hopefully the B-roll we're going to be showing you is just going to show you what it's like here. Now you're going to see that all the bells and whistles and glowing lights up here, you're going to see the selector switch here and the electric handbrake down there. And I think, yes, we're going to go back to me driving this vehicle on the road. Tom? Thanks, Tom. I'm back. So, how do we finish this one? Well, as I said, there are plenty of other electric vans on the market right now in the medium van sector, and there are 2 in particular that would often be called the premium choice, but the VW AB Transporter and the Mercedes-Benz e-Vito do not offer anywhere near the same amount of range or the same amount of payload, which is what makes the Vauxhall Vivaro-E the compelling choice for me, and of course the e-Dispatcher and the Expert E or the e-Expert, whichever way around. I can never flipping remember which way around that is. That's what makes them such compelling propositions, because they offer strong payloads, they offer strong ranges. And actually that's all you want from an electric van right now. They're reliable, they'll get you where you need to go, you won't need to charge them as often as you think you will, and they can carry loads. What else do you need from an electric van today? Yeah, no, I don't think much else. Fair play, Vauxhall. Fair play indeed.